Welcome back to Real Estate School. This is our fall edition of Speed Round. We've got 20 really good questions for you that you could see on your state's licensing exam. Now, since this is Speed Round, we're going to move fast. I'm going to read you the question, wait a moment, and give you the answer. If you would like more time between the question and the answer, of course, just hit the pause button. Are you ready to get started? Let's go. Question number 1. Joe is a transfer student from Korea looking for a one-bedroom apartment. He asks for something near the university. His rental agent shows him apartments only in an area known as Chinatown, telling him he would feel more at home there. His rental agent could be guilty of... The answer is D, steering. Steering is channeling prospective buyers or renters to or away from specific neighborhoods based on their race, religion, national origin, or other protected class to maintain or change the character of a neighborhood. When real estate licensees make assumptions about the types of neighborhoods clients would like to live in instead of showing them all available options, they are practicing steering. Question number 2. Which obligation has first priority in the event of a foreclosure sale? The answer is A. Ad valorem property taxes are paid first in the event of a foreclosure sale. They are considered superior. The other liens mentioned are inferior, and they're paid according to the date they were recorded. Question number 3. For which property would the comparable sales approach be least useful? The answer is D, special purpose property. The sales comparison approach relies on finding comparable properties, which can be quite challenging with special purpose properties. In such cases, the cost approach is likely to carry more weight. Question number 4. Buyer and seller have agreed to terms and signed a purchase agreement. Prior to the settlement, the buyer has... The answer is B, equitable title to the property. Equitable title is a limited ownership interest in property created on the execution of a valid sales contract, whereby actual legal title will be transferred by deed at a future date, generally at the closing, upon full performance of the contract. Essentially, equitable title is the legal right to obtain ownership. Question number 5. The state has decided to widen the highway in front of Mr. King's home. It will be necessary to use 20 feet of his front yard to do so. The taking of Mr. King's land by the state is the act of? The answer is A, condemnation. Condemnation is the act of taking land through the state's power of eminent domain. Question number 6. Which would least likely be considered functional obsolescence? The answer is A, a home with a crumbling roof. Functional obsolescence is a problem with the design of the structure itself. A roof can be replaced relatively easily. It's an example of physical deterioration. Question number 7. A small strip mall has an effective gross income of $44,000. Operating expenses are $26,000 and debt service is $8,800. If the desired capitalization rate is 10%, how much would a buyer be willing to pay for the property? The answer is D, $180,000. To determine the value, we're going to deduct from the effective gross income of $44,000 operating expenses of $26,000. To determine we have a net operating income of $18,000. The debt service is not factored in. Income divided by rate equals value. $18,000 income divided by a 10% capitalization rate equals $180,000. Again, debt service is not considered when finding the net operating income. We can also determine the answer using the T-bar method. The $18,000 income represents the part. The rate, the capitalization rate, is 10%. The T-bar tells us to determine value, we divide the net operating income, the part, by the rate of 10% to determine a value of $180,000. Income divided by rate equals value. Question number 8. What clause gives a lender the right to declare the entire loan balance due immediately because of borrower default or for violation of other contract provisions? The answer is A, an acceleration clause, as in accelerate the maturity of the debt. An acceleration clause gives the lender the right to declare the entire loan balance due immediately because of borrower default or for violation of the other contract provisions. This is sometimes referred to as calling the note. Question number 9. When the borrower repays a loan according to the terms in the note, what clause protects his rights to the property, making the mortgage null and void? The answer is B, defeasance. A defeasance clause protects the rights of the borrower, removing the lien against the collateral property once the loan is repaid. Once you've defeated your loan. Question number 10. Of these, which is least likely to be negotiable in a listing agreement? The answer is C, whether or not there is an end date to the listing. Most states require listing agreements to contain a definite termination date. The other items are negotiable, and a licensee must inform the consumer of that fact. Question number 11. It is a violation of the Federal Fair Housing Act to exclude potential tenants because of? The answer is B, having children. Familial status is a protected class under amendments that were made to the Federal Fair Housing Act. Question number 12. A man is buying a home for $240,000. He makes a down payment of $48,000. If he pays 3 discount points, what is the total cost of the points? The answer is C, $5,760. Discount points are paid on the mortgage amount, where 1 point equals to 1%. After you subtract the down payment from the sales price of the home, the loan amount is $192,000. $192,000 times 3% or 0.03 equals $5,760. Question number 13. What did the Supreme Court of the United States rule in the case of Jones versus Alfred H. Mayer? The answer is D. Race is a protected class with no exceptions. The Jones versus Alfred H. Mayer Company ruling upheld the Civil Rights Act of 1866, prohibiting any racially based discrimination with no exceptions. Question number 14. A woman gets a deed of trust from a bank to finance the purchase of a house in a new subdivision. While the loan is outstanding, who holds title to her property? The answer is D, the trustee. When using a deed of trust to finance the purchase of property, a disinterested third-party trustee holds title to the property on behalf of the seller as security. The buyer has only equitable title. until the loan is repaid. Question number 15. Which of these tenancies could describe a landlord-tenant relationship? The answer is C, periodic. A periodic tenancy is a type of leasehold estate between a landlord and a tenant. A common feature of a periodic tenancy is a lease that requires a notice to terminate. Question number 16. To the owner of the land it runs across, an easement is considered a... The answer is C, an encumbrance. An encumbrance is a non-possessory interest in someone's property and is considered a burden. Question number 17. Which buildings would not be exempt under Title III of the Americans with Disabilities Act? The answer is A, government buildings. Places of worship, private clubs, and historical buildings are exempt. However, historical buildings must still comply with the maximum extent feasible. Although civil penalties may not be assessed in cases against state or local government, there is no exemption for these facilities. Question number 18. A resident has a proprietary lease in one of the residential units in a large complex. She also has use of the building's common areas. She lives in a... The answer is B. This describes cooperative ownership, or co-ops. Question number 19. What would be the expected impact on the housing market of a large influx of people into a community? The answer is C. It would likely result in a seller's market. Generally speaking, when a large number of people move into an area, available housing will be at a premium, which creates a seller's market. Question number 20. A triangular lot has 380 feet of frontage and is 410 feet deep. What is the acreage of this lot? The answer is C, 1.78 acres. First, divide the base of the triangle by 2. Then multiply the depth, 190 feet, times 410 feet, equals 77,900 square feet. Finally, you can divide that number by the number of square feet in an acre. 77,900 divided by 43,560, and that equals 1.78 acres. Remember how big an acre is? 4 old ladies driving 35 in a 60. Thank you for tuning in to this version of Speed Round. We do have many more good Speed Round videos available on our channel. If you would like some more one-on-one assistance with any of the topics or concepts for your licensing exam, I suggest you go to realestatetutorbob.com and learn about our one-on-one tutoring sessions. Hope to see you there.